Hello, everyone. I'm Marty Chinesky, along with my good buddy Ken Brown. Caught me off guard there, even though he was counting me down. We're your hosts, the Local Sports Wrap-Up. Today is the 29th day of January. It's a Monday, and we have our Lions hangover from the game yesterday that everybody in the whole state of Michigan and downriver thinks the Lions should have won.
Yeah.
And we do too.
Yeah. It's a tough way to lose. And they played so well in the first half. It's just kind of crazy that it ended that way, right? And they were running the ball down the throats of the 49ers. You know, they looked unstoppable with a Montgomery Gibbs back and forth.
All day to throw the ball. It was just, I was cheering. I couldn't have been happier. And I was looking up, I was actually on my phone looking up tickets to the Super Bowl.
Jet set. There he goes. He's out of here.
They were $8,600 a piece.
That's all?
I don't have that kind of money.
That's all
I mean,
it
I
was.
do. It's just to
enough
pay it
for
off
that.
for the next,
Yeah.
put it on that American Express card. I'll just pay it off for the next couple of years.
Man, I felt so bad for it. I mean, it was a great football weekend. It's my favorite weekend. Those two games, AFC Championship, NFC Championship weekend. Man, you get some really good football, all in the 8-hour window. And, oh, man, so the Chiefs game turned out, even though the under, you kind of saw that. Well, I did. I thought the Chiefs would win. But then the Lions, they had them. What is it, 24-7 at the half?
Yeah, 17-point lead. And then, they're getting the ball back to start, and you hold them to a field goal. I was listening to the fan this morning, and they flat out said, will you get it down there? And it was the offensive lineman that's always on their show. And he said, you want to get the momentum back, kick that field goal. And they say, we just took your best shot, and we're still up 17.
Yeah.
And that'd be like and there's only 8 minutes left in the quarter.
The hard part is you live by the sword, die by the sword. He's been doing that all year, first of all.
And they've made 14 of their last 15, believe it or not, at 3 yards or less
Okay.
on those fourth downs.
Okay.
So
And the Reynolds kid dropped it.
oh yeah,
I mean, yeah, he dropped it.
And
But I just don't understand the rationale. To me, he wanted to go for it on the way to halftime, but they didn't have timeouts left, and they were on about the 5 or whatever. I think that he would have went for it there, and they needed the 3 points to be up to 17 to have the record of most points to come back from. But no.
So we're feeling a little pain in our souls, even though this guy's a Cowboy fan. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad for Detroit. Like I said, I appreciate that they made over $40 million in 2 weekends downtown that they had home games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
With the hotels and everything.
hotels, restaurants, different businesses, that's what it's about, right?
Yeah.
Bringing people in town and showing them that Detroit has a bright side. So I feel bad for that part. And I really thought that they had it, to be honest. I was stuck. But
The second field goal, you got to kick that to tie. Then you're not down 2 scores when it doesn't work. Kick that one to tie the score, and at least you're going into the last 5 minutes tied or whatever, 7 minutes, instead of not making it. But Reynolds dropped another big third down play, too.
Yeah.
It is what it is. The guys that were making plays the whole season didn't make any in that last half,
Yeah, because St. Brown dropped one, too, or fell short or something. Yeah. But, and I know they're going to talk about it on the sports football show, the pro show they got here, but only can the Detroit Lions get a guy, hit it off his head, Ayuk catches it, we think it's a touchdown, right? They call it back, okay, boom, they score, and then the first play they fumble, and it's 14 points quicker
Only
than you
the
can
Lions
breathe.
could do that.
Quicker than
Give
you
up
could breathe.
14 points in about 3 minutes.
Yes.
Ah,
All right.
that's why I don't have season tickets anymore.
Yeah. Oh, it's a good season, though. 12-5, most wins ever.
Yeah, I'll take it. All right, let's get on to the local stuff, which we have basketball.
Yeah.
Sure, let's start with basketball.
Yeah.
We've got some updates on the records of our local Wyandotte teams. I will say that the girls, we'll start with the girls varsity, their record is 7-5 for the season so far. That's probably just in the Downriver League. Yeah, because there's more. No, that's overall. The season started on December 5th, and in the last week they have they lost to Trenton on the 23rd, 36 to 29, and then they turn around and beat Taylor 54 to 29 on the 25th. That covers the last week's scores. I got a few others. Woodhaven lost to Riverview 56-46 on the 23rd. And Southgate took care of Carlson 55-39. And Taylor beat Allen Park. There's a battle, 26-22.
Yeah, it sounds like a black and blue division of football
Yeah,
game.
no kidding. And one other here we have, Woodhaven lost to Livonia Stevenson 49-22.
Well, the girls are doing pretty good. 7-5. They're over 500. Hamilton. Madison Hamilton is coaching that team.
Yes, she is.
I actually saw one of her players this weekend at an event, and they were excited and said that she's doing really well. I saw them at Warrior Basketball or whatever Wyandotte Rex basketball is, and they said that Madison.
She's there recruiting?
No, she wasn't. There was one of her players had a sibling playing, but they said that their coach was Madison Hamilton, so that was cool.
Yeah, our daughters grew up with her. You know, she played volleyball with Julia, and Julia didn't play basketball. Madison did. Yeah, absolutely.
And Kennedy played basketball with her, so they had, like I said, that's good to see, like a feel-good story. A kid goes back, comes from playing in the college ranks, and comes and coaches the team. So Hamilton's got them 7-5. That's kind of nice.
That's good. And the same as with our football coach. To be honest, it's I coached that little kid in baseball, coach pitch. It'll come to me, but he did the same thing. You know, he played for us, and now he's back.
I think that's how you keep the tradition going. Now the girls are actually doing a lot better than the boys. Boys right now are 4-10. That's the bad news. The good news is they've won 2 out of the last 6. So they're on a little roll, right?
Yeah.
2-6, yeah. 2-4.
They've only won 4.
Yeah. They're really 2-3 over the last 5 games. So that sounds even better. But the good news is that they only lost by 3 to Taylor, and they only lost by on the 25th of January. They lost by 3 to Taylor, 46-43. They lost to Trenton this week as well, 49-40. But they beat Gibraltar Carlson 50-45.
Wow.
And then they had lost Dearborn Edsel Ford 67-51. But they beat Allen Park 45-40. So they're going back and forth. They're having some really good games, and then they're having some not so good games. Best thing that they got going is they got Lincoln Park coming to their house on February 1st. So hopefully they'll get an opportunity to give Lincoln Park their business, and we'll see those Wyandotte Bears go to 5-10.
Yeah, and I think the girls obviously have the same thing on the 1st. And the Lincoln Park team, I'm looking at the scores from January 25th. Carlson rolled them 59-7.
Yeah.
7. How do you score 7
Touchdown.
in a game? Yeah. And they got the extra point.
Yeah.
That's right. So, that's good. The girls' side, they rolled Taylor 54-29, like I said. So they're going to roll into Lincoln Park, and they're going to roll that one. And it looks like on the 7th, we get Southgate Anderson. That'll cover next week. So that's, and I want to thank Mr. Schley for the information and the scheduling and how the teams are doing. The boys, they had a couple of scores here from Downriver boys.
Oh, yeah.
Allen Park took care of Taylor.
Yeah. So on the 25th, Lincoln Park actually lost to Carlson 69-37. Southgate beat Allen Park 65-60. We talked about that, Taylor and Wyandotte. Trenton lost to Woodhaven 49-46.
That's got to be such a battle because Woodhaven and Trenton are right next to each other downriver. I don't know how the rivalries are, like when we're playing Lincoln Park, if it's so tight, or Southgate because the cities touch.
Yeah.
But who knows?
No, that's definitely got to be it because when we played Ann Arbor, it was all no love at all. No love. Now, you know what the really good news is for the Wyandotte Bears basketball team at being 5-10?
Besides, they're playing Lincoln Park next.
Well, that's a bonus. But the Lions were 6-10 2 years ago.
Ah. Oh, so there's some growing there.
Yeah,
You
they got
believe
an
there's some growing.
opportunity to come and get things right and kick the ball. I mean, go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? So we got this week, January 1st, in the girls' 30th, and the girls' side, Allen Park's going to take on Woodhaven. Etzel Ford's going to take on Taylor. Lincoln Park's taking on Southgate. That's on the 30th, and Trenton's taking on Carlson. And on 31st, Flat Rock to Trenton. So it looks like the Wyandotte girls they're only playing on the 1st. Lucky them.
Yeah. And it actually is mirrored on the boys' side. On the 30th, you got Woodhaven versus Allen Park, Carlson versus Trenton, Southgate versus Lincoln Park, and then Taylor versus Etzel Ford. So Wyandotte is idle on the 30th as from the boys' side as well. But then on the 1st, Allen Park plays Etzel Ford, Trenton plays Taylor, and then Wyandotte plays Lincoln Park. And then on the 2nd, Woodhaven will play Southgate. So a lot of basketball coming up as we head towards March Madness and people are getting their teams together and getting ready for the tournament. Last week we talked a little bit about milestones, right? Kids are reaching 1,000 points in a game. Wyandotte Bears Wrestling has 3 kids that are really doing really well as far as milestones. And all these names are familiar to us just because of the work we've done with the local sports and then football. Max Biondo, he's reached 100 career wins in wrestling.
Nice.
And that's a huge deal. Like we were breaking down the math. And now we know that in wrestling you can start as a freshman. It's just all about weight class. Where do you start? Now Max is a big kid, so I'm sure he's at 189, 200.
I'll say this, when he runs the football, and he did hurt his ankle, but when he runs the football and he comes upon those safeties, there's no shying away from contact for Max. He's going to punish that little 140-pound safety that's trying to tackle him. And I watched because I got to call a couple of the games for George Purdue. Yeah, he's punishing when he runs, and he doesn't shy away from contact. And I'll bet he's just a beast when he's wrestling.
Yeah. The other kids are Desmond King. He got his 100th win since being with the Wyandotte program. And then Michael Stakakis. All 3 got 100 wins. Sure, all different weight classes. So that just tells you that Wyandotte has something to look forward to as wrestling narrows it down.
And they did win the league last year. They did win the wrestling Downriver League. I remember that. Most of their meets are tries or quads, where they go and they wrestle against 3 other schools on a weekend. I think that's how it works with wrestling, kind of like they do cross country and stuff.
Yeah, but the interesting part, like we said, if they started 4 years, then they're 25 wins since they were freshmen. And even if they only got a little playing time when freshmen, then that means they're winning 27, 28, 30 games a year in wrestling. So hats off to those kids, man. Way to shine and bring it home. Still got an opportunity to win a state championship. Let's go.
Go Bears.
Go Bears.
Go Bears. How about the hockey team? Can we talk a little bit about their record right here? They're taking it on the chin a little bit, but like last year they only had 5 or we decided they had 9 on their bench.
Yeah.
It's a little different this year.
Yeah.
They've got a full bench.
However, they're young.
They're ridiculously young. They have 4 seniors on their roster. So their record is 4-15. But we've discussed this many a times. When you got a 13-year-old 9th grader or a 14-year-old 9th grader going against on ice, on skates, in equipment against an 18-year-old man.
Or Max Bionda.
Or
hockey's version of
Right. If Max skated, you're gonna get pushed around. Now there are some big 9th graders. Don't get me wrong, but strength-wise, And so this is helping develop for the future the team. I mean, they hung the other day. They went to Trenton, had to play Trenton, best team in the state, one of them, and it was 1-0 after one. And the Bears, they didn't capitalize on their opportunities, and they 1-0 after one. You're in the game, but then they get a couple of quick ones in the second period, and now it's 3-0. And now these freshmen are, you see the shoulders start to sag. They're like, how are we going to come back? We can't get the puck behind the goalie. And they end up losing that game 7-0. But it's a learning experience without a doubt. Let's see. They start out the season. They were basically 1-7, and they had to put a little stretch together in December. They beat Cabrini, they beat Troy, and they beat Brownstown. Go 3 out of 4, and then now they're in a thing where all they've done is tied Ann Arbor Pioneer. They've lost 6 out of 8, and 6 out of 7. So yeah, they got 4 wins, but. Who they taking on next? They got Troy, who they've beaten already. They've got Troy here on the 31st, and on the 2nd they're playing Ann Arbor Pioneer, who they just tied. So hopefully the kids, the freshmen, are getting the system down. When I used to coach hockey, it was all about what are you doing when you don't have the puck? What are you doing? We tried to keep one in and the forwards and a couple up by the blue line until we got the puck. If you force that kid to shoot it on the boards, then our guys got to be there. Figure like an L, 2 and 1. Well, whatever side the puck's on, there's your 2 and 1, and you can get them in there tighter. And plus, when we get the puck, what are we going to do with it? I was a firm believer in just cycling it in the corner. And we were so successful once we taught the kids that, hey, I don't want to see you just hit it to that side of the rink and he hits it back to this side of the rink. You're not going to play if you're going to do stupid stuff like that. Throw the puck where your teammate can get it.
Yeah.
And where he knows when you stop the puck, like we dump it in and go around the boards, we'd stop it on the far side. Our other forward would be breaking in. Well, what would he do with it right away? Right away, he would hold it for a millisecond until people converged on him, and he'd flip it softly into the corner where our guy was waiting, and then he would break. Okay, now if you can't hit him with the puck, you're going to work and look at your D, who's finally in the zone.
Yeah.
Or you're going to skate a little forward and you're going to dump it right back there in that corner. Where that guy that just broke to the net, he's going to turn, he's going to be there waiting for it. Now it's your turn to break.
Yeah.
And we run that all day. And they run it in the pros, a little different because they're more skilled.
Right.
They can run a cycle in the middle of the ice, We use the boards.
It sounds a lot like a give and go in basketball.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. And you could play soccer that way. You could play many, many sports that way. So, yeah. And that's all we did. And, it won us a regionals. It got us to the state finals because we were in overtime in that exact same play, man. We dumped it in. The kid stopped it. He threw it to the boards in the corner, and a guy went on the corner, and he broke, and the guy in the corner just kind of snuck out to the side and shot it over the goalie's shoulder, and we were on our way to the state finals, Yeah. So that was so good to see my little work, 2 months in, be successful.
Yeah,
that
pay off.
Really cool. So we're going to give the Bears hockey team not a free pass, but you know what? They're freshmen and they're learning. And then, he's only got 4 seniors, so that means, and he's got a full bench, 20-some kids. So you got 18 returning, let's say. Can't beat that.
No, you got to love that experience. Around the rest of the league in hockey, Essexville beat Southgate 7-6. That was in overtime. So that was a really good game. Riverview Gabriel Richard beat Carlson 3-0. And then Carlson doubled back to play Allen Park to lose 2-0. And then on the 26th, we don't have the results, but Carlson played Hudsonville, and then Southgate played Oxford. And then this past weekend, there was a Chelsea showcase where Carlson, Grand Rapids, Kennewaw Hills both were in it. I guess Carlson was the downriver team, but I don't have the results from that. So they are playing hockey across the state. Those kids are still traveling up a little bit to get some quality opponents in.
A week ago, you could have froze the rink in your backyard. 2 weeks ago, when it was so cold. Now it's all been turned into slush. I have results. They had a tournament last weekend, 127. Right here in Wyandotte, it was a competitive cheer competition.
Okay.
And our girls, Division I, were third place.
Okay.
Finished
That's real
third.
good.
So congrats to them. And in boys swim, Emerson McCura, he's a breaststroker. He will be returning to the state finals because he's qualified with his time.
What was his time, Coach? Does it say?
Does not say.
I bet you it's fast.
Well, you know, like I said, Mr. Schley wrote these down for me in the 10 minutes.
Yeah.
While he was like looking, I was like, I need some standings. I want to see who's in first, who's what. And he said, I can't get you that. He said, I can get you ours.
Yeah.
In 10 minutes, he could get me ours. That's why we have hockey and basketball and the records and all that. But
The stat you read before you read the breaststroke, the one you read before you talked about the hockey guy, about the swim guy.
swim, yeah, Emerson McCura, breaststroke.
Yeah. What was the one before that? What's that one?
That's a cheer.
And they came in third, right?
Yeah.
Do you think first place was Allen Park?
Allen Park and Gibraltar. No, it's Woodhaven. No, is it? No, it's Woodhaven.
Allen Park and Woodhaven.
Usually they
Yes.
split it.
Yeah,
Or is
yeah.
it Trenton?
Yeah.
No,
it's
it's
Allen Park.
Woodhaven.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might have been third.
Nah, I bet
Allen
you-
Park's Division II, though, isn't
Okay.
aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, but they usually.
Oh, they're always on top. It's always the same two schools that have won it the last, 7 years?
Yeah. Yeah.
8 years? If it's not Allen Park, it's Woodhaven?
Correct.
Okay. What about some bowling?
Bowling is my favorite sport
It's a game.
right now.
You know why it's a game? Because anyone can play it.
Okay.
Some sports you have to be big, strong. You can be 100 pounds and throw the ball, throw the great. Right now, on the girls' side, the Woodhaven Warriors are leading the girls' division. They have one loss. Mr. Krolak, who was here, he's doing a fine job with his girls. We are a 500 team. The Wyandotte Roosevelt Bears are 6-6. So that makes Krolak about 11-1, somewhere in there.
I got you.
Second place, we have been doing him a huge favor by knocking off everybody as we started 1-4, and now we've, basically we're 5-2 going into.
Which is a good stretch.
We're getting better. Our goal is to be really good in 3 weeks at the regionals. Not only that, but for my individuals to qualify too. We got to be good. So we're doing him a favor by knocking Southgate out of his way, and we knocked. Who else was right behind him? Carlson got us today, but they have 4 losses. And we just keep mowing teams down that are behind them. He come up to me the other day and said, thanks for that, man. He said, we can relax now and win the league title. On the boys' side, our boys' Bears were undefeated going into last week. And they lost Thursday to Taylor, got slapped. And lost today, got slapped. They went down 10-0 in Bakers and then just got beat up. So now they have 2 losses, and I think that puts them in second or third place because Taylor only had 1 loss. Wyandotte had beat them before, but they brought their A game Thursday, and we took Taylor down in the girls' side. They were chasing Krolak's team too. They were missing one of their best bowlers who hurt her wrist, but hey, you play with who you got.
Sure.
One of my best bowlers is out for grades. And that puts a hole in my lineup, and unfortunately, that's just the way you put 5 out there and hope.
You were up similar to the Lions, 24. What were you up today?
Oh, today we got beat 23-7.
Okay.
It wasn't pretty. We were down 6-4. Well, we bowled Carlson, and they come out the gate with a 2-14 Baker game. That's the highest Baker game on the girls' side all season. So we're down almost 80 pins. So I'm like, let's win the second game. It would be 6-4. We won the second game, fair and square, shot about $140. I said, they aren't shooting another 200. So let's just bowl. And then we're 6-4 going in the first team game, and we're going to hang. We're winning it. In the last 2 frames, we collapse. They don't. We lose the game by 27 pins. That's a huge 4 points. The team game is 4 points. And they had girls throw a couple doubles in the 10th, and they're a good team, and we didn't win.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. I mean, we competed last Sunday at the Burns tournament. We qualified 4th. We unfortunately lost the Baker set to Allen Park. And Bakers are hard that way. You get a couple of strikes, man, you win. You know, we had 2 4-baggers during qualifying in the Bakers, so my girls are throwing the ball better. And the boys, they went all the way to the finals, and they ended up losing to, who the heck did they finish second to? I think it was not a team in our division. I want to say it might have been Belleville boys. The Belleville girls won our division. I know the boys are really strong too. Not only are they good in football, they recruit bowlers from all over downriver too, apparently.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
It is what it is.
I'm trying to think of a bowling hall in Belleville. I can't even picture one.
They bowl at Lodge Lanes.
Okay.
Yeah, right there off of 94. So as we wrap up, anything else we got to add? Any single, RHS Athlete of the Week, Bianca Hawthorne. She plays volleyball, basketball, and soccer.
Wow,
So she must be playing basketball right now and must have had a good day. And so she's the Athlete of the Week for the Wyandotte Bears, which I'm sure she gets on Bear TV. They got their little...
Yeah. And I'm sure Coach Madison Hamilton is happy to have her.
Oh, I'll bet. I end up getting softball girls, and a couple of pitchers that throw the ball 1,000 miles an hour.
That's all you need. A couple of them.
It's all good. Anything else, sir? We got another Lions to cheer. Super Bowl in 2 weeks.
Yeah. It's going to be a quiet week. No football for the first time in 18, 19 weeks. So should be a good week to get some things done. 40-degree days.
Oh, yeah. We got local sports wrap up at Gmail. We'll talk. I check that email every other day. You just let us know when your kid does something great, and we will talk about it. I'm Marty Chinesky. That's Ken Brown. We are both your hosts for Local Sports Wrap Up. We will see you in a week. Thanks for watching.